Thank you for starting your week with us. Welcome to Arirang News Break. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Daeun. 17 days of fierce global sports competition in Rio is officially coming to a close with a grand closing ceremony that's taking place as we speak. Team Korea finished 8th by gold, and until the very last day, the heat of competitions and thrill of games rung around the Brazilian host city. Yoon-shin starts us off.
On the final day of the 2016 Summer Olympics, proud athletes enter the Maracana Stadium in Rio one last time to bid farewell to the sporting event. Sunday's closing ceremony gave the global audience a festive event featuring the big samba floats the city's carnival is known for, as well as performances by Brazilian musicians. Winning most medals, the U.S. concluded their stay in Rio in first place. And beating China by 1 gold, Great Britain claimed second. Also, despite the long list of banned athletes due to the doping scandal, Russia, especially excelling in fencing and wrestling, finished 4th. But earlier in the day, the thrill of the games was kept in the city until the very last minute. In Sunday's men's basketball final, the U.S. sealed its 3rd straight golden victory, beating Serbia 96-66. The team's star player, Kevin Durant, scoring 30 points alone, pushed his team way ahead of the Serbians by halftime. With the U.S. women's basketball team also dominating Spain 101-72 on Saturday to claim their 6th gold, the country has solidified its reputation as the best basketball nation. Another anticipated event on the final day was the marathon, in which another double gold was achieved by a single nation. Following the golden finish in the women's event on August 14th, Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge won gold in the men's marathon, finishing the race in 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 44 seconds. And although Team Korea's participation on the last day wasn't significant, finishing 8th in the medal standings with 9 gold, 3 silver, and 9 bronze medals, the nation had a sweet moment of closure in Rio. Sweeping all 4 golds from the men's and women's individual and team events, Korea's most memorable victorious moments were in archery. Korea also won 5 medals in taekwondo, including 2 golds from the women's events. And with the last gold in women's golf from Park In-bi, although high gold medal hopes from certain events didn't turn out as planned, Korea was still able to achieve its goal of finishing in the top 10 of the medal rankings. Yoon-shin, Arirang News.
Back here at home, President Park Geun-hye convened the Ulchi National Security Council this morning, followed by an Ulchi cabinet meeting, marking the start of the 4-day Ulchi Freedom Guardian exercise. The now South Korea-U.S. joint drill was launched in the late 1960s, following North Korea's Cheongwade raid to better cope with national emergencies and secure safety. The U.S. joined the exercise in 1976. The annual computerized drill, which involves the government, public sector, and the military, also practices simulations protecting Seoul's key facilities in case of a North Korean attack. President Park will likely stress the need for full defense readiness and countering North Korea's continued threats that includes a possible 5th nuclear test. Korea's main political parties failed to reach an agreement on a multi-billion-dollar supplementary budget bill over the weekend, which they previously planned to pass on Monday. The ruling Saenuri Party has criticized the main opposition, the Minju Party of Korea, and the minor opposition People's Party for going back on their trilateral agreement to pass the bill, which they say is needed to revitalize the flagging economy. The opposition parties suspect government officials are secretly plotting to use some of the funds to prop up the nation's struggling shipbuilding sector. Despite the political stalemate, some officials still say the rival parties could reach a last-minute agreement to pass the budget bill by the end of the week. Global trade has hit its lowest level in 6 years. According to the World Trade Organization, the total amount of trade of 71 major economies in the first half of this year came to over $14.4 trillion. That's down 5.4% from a year ago. After peaking in the first half of 2014, the figure marks the second straight decline. During the same period, roughly then 3/4 of the 71 countries saw their exports decline, especially on the back of slowing trade volume in China and a slump in global oil prices. China's exports dipped in the first 6 months of the year, taking a toll on Asian countries. Indonesia saw the biggest decline, followed by Malaysia and Singapore. Korea saw its exports fall 9.9% during the same period. The world's biggest exporter was China, followed by the U.S., Germany, and Japan. Korea fell a notch to sit as the world's 7th largest. Turkey's president has revealed the suicide bomber who attacked a Kurdish wedding party over the weekend was a child. More than 50 people were killed in the blast. Kim Mo-kyun has more.
President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said the attack was likely the work of the Islamic State group, which is known to have several cells in Gaziantep, a city near the Syrian border. A young suicide bomber also killed 2 policemen in Gaziantep in May.
Yesterday, in the Gaziantep Shahin Bey district, during a wedding ceremony, a 12 to 14-year-old suicide bomber exploded or was exploded by someone. In the beginning, there were 94 wounded, but now after discharge patients, there are 69 wounded in hospitals right now. 17 of them are heavily wounded. There are 51 dead.
The pro-Kurdish People's Democratic Party says the wedding party was for one of its members. ISIS has been blamed for similar attacks on Kurdish gatherings in Turkey, which is seen as efforts aimed at inflaming ethnic tensions. International powers have condemned the attack. The U.S. ambassador to Turkey said the attack was barbaric, while Pope Francis led hundreds of people in a silent prayer for the victims. German Chancellor Angela Merkel and Russian President Vladimir Putin also said that they stand on Turkey's side in the fight against terrorism. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon expressed condolences to the families and urged for international counter-terrorism efforts to be intensified. Kim Mo-kyun, Arirang News.
And that's all from me. Keep you tuned to Arirang for more top domestic and global news updates throughout the day. Thank you for watching.